Hey there, hi there, ho there. It is I by myself, solo JJ for SideQuesting's theme week. Hell yeah, brother. Initially when theme week came up, I thought it'd be fun to do console hardware. I've got a lot of console hardware, and it'd be fun to show off some of the weird oddities or my grail stuff that I have. But uh as time got closer and closer to actually like doing something with that, I didn't really find the idea fun. uh I didn't know how to do it. Yeah, I could show you a Neo Geo and be like, yeah, it's like Chris Farley. That's cool. um but I came up with a different idea. One of my main non-gaming passions has always been, since I was just a wee lad of I don't know, early 90s, comic books. I think comic books. um and so I was trying to think, like, what would be a fun, like, comic book thing to do, show off my collection. I have too many. I've got, long box after long box after long box of comic books, but I wouldn't know how to present that. Like, grab a long box, pull a comic book out, and ramble on about it for a little bit or something, like, stuff like that. But um, that didn't seem fun. But then it dawned on me, exactly. I know exactly what to do, and it involves this brick right here. This is my folio of what I would consider, they're not, I have some others. Some grails that I have aren't in this book. I've got them framed, or they're hanging on a wall. I've got them signed. I got certain grails, like, Secret Wars 8, with the first appearance of the Spider-Man black suit and things like that. Oh, let's say there's personal grails in this. But in this book is in this binder, in this is stack of my favorite comics. Some of my personal favorites. They have different meanings to me in various ways. Some more sentimental, some just because it's like it's one of my favorites of all time, or stuff like that. So very various different things, and obviously I'll talk about it as I pull it out. It's not huge, but it is substantial. Which then brings us to the uh, the live comic cam, live from the keyboard studio, is is the comic cam. And to start off, the folio has a spot up front for comic books, and so we will present it right here. This is Daredevil number 30, as you can see on the front here. It's a very interesting comic. It's a story of uh, a fake fake Thor story, and fake Daredevil. The main reason this is on here is because you can see on the front here, if you look right there, that is a felt tip marker signature from Stan Lee. That dates, this thing isn't in great shape, but that kind of dates it to when this probably was uh, signed, because over the years things have changed a little bit. They used to sign the insides covers of comics instead of the front of the comic, because you didn't want the front of the comic ruined by signature or whatever. But that's changed through the years. So, but not using a Sharpie, just a normal boring felt tip pen is a very interesting way of signing it, and sort of dates it. This was probably signed sometime back in the 70s. And so I just put it there. It's not in great shape. It's falling apart. You can see that. But you know what? It's a personal. It's hard to get this. It's a personal favorite of mine. That's why I put it on the front, because it's got Stan Lee signature. Despite Stan Lee's issues in the industry, and what he's done just as much harm as good in a lot of ways. It's still Stan Lee at the end of the day. So, like, bless him, love him. Nice to have a signature. I do have a photo with Stan Lee too. So, uh, love just it's good to have. So next up, right on top, is one of my personal grails. We've got the Mighty Thor, issue 337. And again, not. I think if this got graded, it'd probably be probably a 4 or 5. It's very fine condition. It's beat up. But what makes this one special is because this is the debut first appearance of Beta Ray Bill, a character that I absolutely love. There's the Beta Ray Bill lore. It's teasing with Stormbreaker, which would be the hammer that Thor gets in Endgame, is actually his hammer. He becomes Thor. Thor is currently not worthy in this story, and so he is worthy. Beta Ray Bill is worthy, and you've seen him. It's hard to tell from this cover, but he has very much a horse head, a very spooky looking horse head. It's a very scary a style that this guy's got. But I just love Beta Ray Bill. I love Beta Ray Bill stories, and took me a while to find a affordable version of this issue. The prices were going crazy for a little bit. There's a lot of rumors that Beta Ray Bill is going to appear in like Love and Thunder and stuff. Never happened. So that for me, thankfully for me, tanked the price quite a bit. But I was very happy finding this. I got a good value out of this one, I think. And this one's actually got notes from the guy that I bought it on. This is the it's the newsstand edition. Newsstand is this box right here. If it's a direct edition, it's one of those comics that has, there might be one in here. I don't know. It would be like the letterbox with the the corner box or something with a drawing in it, or no mark. So newsstand, this is where you'd buy it at a newsstand or a grocery store, stuff like that. Ones that don't have the barcode or direct editions, which you would get from a comic book store. As the years went on, deeper into the 80s, you got comic book stores kind of became they were buying direct, but everything's got a barcode on it now. It's easier to catalog things, as technology grew and stuff. So everything has everything has a barcode now. Everything needed a barcode now. Back then, you didn't need a barcode for a direct edition. You bought them outright and sold them. So it was a different time, but so they're not, one's not more collectible than the other for the most part. But some later runs with direct editions, because there'd be less, because there were less comic book stores, or not less comic book stores, less grocery stores carrying comics and stuff, that you'd find less newsstand editions. It got weird. It got weird for a bit, but move on to the next one. This one's a obvious why it's in here. The entire MCU is built on the backbone of the Infinity Gauntlet. So this is the first issue of the Infinity Gauntlet. Special about this one, let's see if I can get in there. I got this signed. There it is. This bad boy signed by Jim Starlin, the writer, creator of Thanos, and pretty much anything Cosmic Marvel can be sort of. He's had his fingers in it. So Jim Starlin is the mastermind behind the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, and definitely one of my favorite comics of all time. Stories. It's just such a expansive story. Really just they bring all of the Marvel characters together in a significant way, unlike Secret Wars, which is still a good Marvel story, but the way they bring the characters together for kind of a significant first time, gathering of Marvel characters, kind of cheesy, kind of cheap. Not this. There's a reason why everyone needs to get together, and it's a big reason. This shaped comics in the same way that Frank Miller's Batman stuff would shape comics for decades to come. To this day, the impact of Infinity Gauntlet can still be felt, especially thanks to the movies. Everything from the MCU led up in the first several phases up to Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and it's all thanks to this comic book. Next up, I love Marvel's old horror stuff. Tomb of Dracula, it's a personal favorite of mine. That's where Blade's first appearance and stuff. This is a very early appearance of Blade. It's not his first appearance, but yeah, this is Tomb of Dracula 14. Tomb of Dracula comics are beautiful, like nice little horror. The Dracula stuff's really good. I got this one signed by Marv Wolfman, who is pretty much the king of this stuff. Like, king in comics in general, but like in particular, like his Tomb of Dracula stuff. When he was in a comic book show, I knew exactly like this was, I couldn't get a first appearance of Blade. It's out of my budget, yeah. Despite blowing money on everything, Tomb of Dracula, I've yet to spend 3 figures on a single comic. So that's where I'm at right now, and I don't know. I've got ideas of what like my first like what would I spend 3 figures on. We'll see. It's probably gonna happen, especially as the market's gotten crazier and crazier. But yeah, Tomb of Dracula, early first appearance of Blade, and signed by the man Marv Wolfman. Love it. Personal favorite. The 90s were very divisive year for comics in general. Things weren't going so great. Writers were being disrespected left and right. Same with artists. Image comes along, and creator owned comics, creator owned characters and stuff. And there's no bigger example of breaking out into the big times as Spawn #1. Todd McFarlane, obviously, this needs no introduction. This is Spawn. This is the first issue of Spawn. I nothing else to say. It's just Spawn. I love Spawn. Always will love Spawn. Image Comics is an important moment in comic history. And they're still around today. Todd McFarlane is still around today. He's still doing a lot of Spawn stuff, obviously, but also he's got his toy division. This guy is making the DC comp toys right now, on top of countless other things, while keeping Spawn. Spawn is the longest running consecutive independent comic like of all time. Like when it hit issue 301, it was like it became like the independent comic. So no, my collection could not be complete without first issue of Spawn. Next up is just a goofier one. I obviously, nothing's complete without something video game. So I have in my hand right here issue 5 of the Legend of Zelda comic from the Nintendo Comic System. These are surprisingly valuable these days. Like a lot of these, like Mario and Zelda, like #1s of these are hundreds of dollars now. Even this one, I definitely did not spend what I've seen these go for in recent years, and this is actually pretty good shape. I got it not that long ago, in the heart of the boom when things are starting to go crazy. But like, they're not great, but like Valiant Comics still around. You're not getting this. There's no reprints of this stuff now. You get what was printed then, and some of the trades and stuff too. But like, there's no trade paperback of this old Nintendo stuff that came out, which is kind of a bummer. There's some of the manga stuff that you can get for Nintendo, but like this stuff is just sort of lost to time. Again, not great. It's definitely more taking American sensibilities, what Zelda really wasn't, but still, it's got good art. It does have the official Nintendo seal of approval. That's how you know it's good. But yeah, it's just a fun little thing that I have. This is a twofer because second favorite comic, like non superhero Marvel comic thing of all time is my main one is GI Joe. I don't have any GI Joe in here because my GI Joe stuff is all really good and hanging on a wall. I've got issue 1 of GI Joe signed and things like that. Those ones are more. That's my favorite comic book series of all time, probably. But obviously, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a big one. So we've got issue 5 of the original series. This is the oldest Ninja Turtles comic that I have. It's very obviously issue 1 is 4 digits. I'll probably never own a legit issue 1 of Eastman and Laird's initial TMNT run. So, I got this for a heck of a price not that long ago, and this is probably the best I'll do for a while. But I have it. I love it. I'm happy with it. And I've also got an IDW Ninja Turtles. It's a variant cover done by Eastman. This is issue 2 of the IDW run, and as you can see, it is signed and remarked. REMARQUE remark when they do the little doodle on there. So I got a Kevin Eastman signed Ninja Turtles. Very, very cool. Very happy to have this. That's why it's in the thing. It's kind of hard to see on this particular cover, but absolutely love it. I'm so happy to have this. I think it was 2010 and 11 probably. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's got a signature right there. Eastman, can't see it. It says he drew this in 2011. So yeah, probably 2011, 2012 is when this came out. But love it. Next up is actually the very first comic book I ever got. My dad brought it home from work one day. We were big fans of the X-Men cartoon in the 90s. So a landmark issue, so to speak. This is X-Men 300. Cool foil cover. Killer storyline, big conclusion to a storyline that was going on that would inevitably lead into Fatal Attractions. I did not spend $6 on this. This just an old sleeve that I had that I wanted to put this in to protect it. But this is 1993. I got, I wasn't out the womb collecting comic books. I had to be a certain age to understand comic books, and cartoon was hot, and obviously they were leaning in the cartoon. This is a John Romita Jr. cover. It's the first comic I ever got, and it has to be in this folio. It's important to me. I've been reading X-Men and Wolverine comics nonstop ever since. So we got that. I go another twofer here because X-Men is my jam, and it is the like the X-Men. If you collect X-Men comics, these are the ones you have to have. It is, of course, Days of the Future Past. Okay, so here we go. You've got Days of Future Past. This is 141. This is the famous, often parodied wanted poster cover. You see, it's a newsstand edition. It's got a newsstand mark on it. So there's that one. I think the other cover is cooler. The 142, the finale to it, with the Sentinel. Everyone dies. No. Look, I'm a goober. That was always going to happen. It makes it this is we'll do it live kind of stuff. But yeah, this is the this issue. Everybody dies, which is relatively true, and this is a direct edition. This one has a Spider-Man head where the a barcode would be. So just it's X-Men. These everyone. If you collect X-Men, you get Uncanny X-Men 141 and 142. The prices fluctuate wildly. When the movie came out, these went crazy. As X-Men was sort of being left aside for the MCU because of the whole Fox situation and stuff, these started drifting a little more. I got these in a pocket where they weren't really going for a ridiculous amount. They're starting to peak back up again because X-Men are big again and Sentinels are big again. The X-Men cartoon popped back up. And this is just one of those things where this will always be some of the most important X-Men. These are when they say key issue, like these are key issues. These aren't minor keys. That's a key issue. It's important to have. Next up, a very interesting one. This is from Epic Comics. If you don't know, Epic Comics back in the day for I'm going to type here. Let's see, when did Epic Comics? See my fingers clackety clack there. 82 is when Epic Comics went live, huh? So yeah, 82. Epic Comics was Marvel's sort of not Marvel imprint. This is what they're going to use to print things that aren't, Spider-Man, X-Men, Wolverine, Fantastic Four, Captain America, whatever. Those are the print out stuff. So this is Akira. This is the first printing of Akira in America. Um, manga wasn't really something that was hot in the 80s in America. So didn't really know how to bring it here. They didn't think back then that Americans would be able to understand how manga was read, even to this day. Like the Akira, if you buy the trades, I get trades. I have the manga of Akira, if it's not the box set version, they're done in a traditional American format, so everything is sort of is normal uh, American format, left to right, uh, translated, not as smoothly as something would be translated today, but still really good manga effort. It's just Akira's one of the most important mangas and anime of all time, so it's exciting to when I found this, I knew I had to have it. You don't see issue 1 very often. You'll see scraggler issues. It never got completed in America, if I recall. Just like Lone Wolf and Cub, I got a bunch of Lone Wolf and Cub that was being printed like this. I forget who was the ones actually printing that, but it wasn't Marvel or TC, and it wasn't one of their sublines. But yeah, it's just it's an important one. I don't know. There's something fantastical about an American version of a manga printed in a time before manga was really socially accepted in this country. So, and it's beautiful. It's on really high quality newsprint, full color, which is, they weren't going to sell black and white comics in America anymore. Ninja Turtles had come and gone in that stage too, by the way. Independent comics, I mean, unless you were an independent comic, you weren't going to really print in black and white anymore. So things were colorized, and there's beautiful colors in it. Last but certainly not least, it's probably my favorite comic book series of all time. I mean, like, I talk about it a lot. G.I. Joe is probably my favorite comic book franchise of all time. It's still going to this day, still being written by Larry Hama. It's like it's American One Piece. No, it's just, the lore is there. It's consistent. Everything means something. Everything's still connected to this day. It's fantastical. It's been 45 years now that G.I. Joe has had its sort of same storyline and like 4 or 5 different publishers. It's wild that it's still there. But the original superhero is Superman. It's easy to write off Superman. And I get it. I'm not the biggest Superman fan overall. But when a Superman story lands, And no Superman story ever landed as good as All-Star Superman. Grant Morrison, Frank Quitely. It is genuinely one of the best. It is everything that makes Superman Superman. The story is supreme. It is just a beautiful story from start to finish. If you don't know anything about Superman, you can read this. If you know everything about Superman, you can read this, and everyone will get the same enjoyment out of this Superman story. It's truth, justice, in the American way, and it really explains what that means. It really explains Superman's heart and soul. And especially in a time nowadays, we're on the cusp of new Superman movie by James Gunn, and it looks good. I'm not entirely sold that it's, it might be a little too silly, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But we're coming off of a franchise of Superman that kind of rewrote what it thought Superman was for its own needs, and ignored what Superman truly is, and why Superman, can be around for, 80 plus years, and still be relevant, and still be important to people, and still mean something, in a society where, these kinds of characters, they get brushed off. He's too powerful. He's too whatever. But sometimes it's not about the powers. Even if you're the most powerful man on the planet, it's about who you are, and that's what All-Star Superman really digs into. Who Superman and Clark Kent are, and what their legacy on the planet is. So yeah, that is my folio of wonder. Again, it's I could go talk and talk and talk about comic books for ages and ages and ages, and I wish I could, but I'm not gonna drag you all down with me and read the entirety of All Star Superman. Although, however, that would be fun. There's there's something for everyone. There's a mix of everything in there for comics. There's horror, there's action, there's mystery, there's love, there's comedy. There's society issues being played out all throughout every single one of these. And yeah, I wish I wish I could make people who write comic books off kind of understand that comics aren't just dime store ephemera to be thrown away. They're American folklore more than anything these days, especially things like Batman and Superman. And X-Men were X-Men, Spider-Man, Marvel stuff in the 60s, was completely different beast. But just wanted to share my passion for just a hot minute with you guys. A nice half-hour lecture about some of my most prized possessions in the comic book world. Maybe I'll do some more. Maybe I'll share some other stuff with you sometime down the line. Some of the crazier ones, some of the weird ones. I'll go over my crossovers and things like that, because that's my passion now in comics is getting crossover, intercompany and intercompany crossovers, whether it be Marvel and DC or whoever. I've got some weird ones. I got weird. There's not everything's Marvel and DC. But Batman and Spawn exist, and things like that. So maybe sometime down the line, I could talk Dally into doing some comic nonsense with me. So yeah, thank you all for just enjoying my rambling. I hope you have a great theme week outside of me.